everyone. This is Laura here.
This is Xavion.
Yep, and, we're the It Couple.
I hope you do by now. So, I had this, ingenious idea in order to be lazy today. But we have some older episodes. We are coming up. Actually, we've already surpassed a full year of running the It Couple podcast. And it's been an adventure. If you went through many of our episodes, you can definitely tell we've put a lot of parts of our actual lives into some of our own topics to share with you.
I think it's with anything new. It grows, it changes, it molds, becomes its own little thing. So, ours is molded. Mm-hmm. And, we're still working on it. But either way, we wanted to kind of, what was it, the word you...
Reload.
Yes, reload an early episode. This is episode 6. So it came out like really early on because our first 5 episodes...
It came literally...
The first 5 episodes we uploaded all at once. So that was like our very first. So this technically was, I guess, our second ever uploaded episode.
This it was around Mother's Day too, which is coming around the bend.
Yep.
And so hint, nudge, nudge. Your mothers need love. So if you hopefully you love your mother, but your mothers need some love. Make sure you spend the $5 or more to kind of give that gift.
I mean, even if you don't have any money, just call them, talk to them, say I love you, hi. They like that.
Yes.
Anyhow, so this episode is actually kind of a motherly thing too. It's about being a mother or a parent and dealing with family gaming and all that fun stuff. So yeah.
And I'm going to just go ahead and get this a heads up on what's going to happen next on our next topic is I wanted to also share this because we did talk about this before, and I think our next podcast is going to touch on this again, where the gaming market, and I'm talking about video game market, there's a big lack of the family dynamic, multiplayer and stuff like that. And we're in 2019. And it doesn't seem like we're really doing a great job of going towards including or being inclusive, but being more exclusive. So you're seeing like games with, buying other stuff, the add-ons and whatnot. Of course, if you listen to any other news media, they talk to you to death about it, just how each company is now nickel and diming you for one game or gating off certain portions of the game. Or
are you going to have this full episode before we even are able to do it?
You're right. Okay. Well, without further ado, to introduce you back to episode 6, Reloaded.
You have now joined the It Couple podcast show. Let me introduce our hosts, Laura and Xavion.
Hello, everyone. This is Laura here.
And this is Xavion.
And today we are going to discuss family gaming.
Yes. And actually, you know what? This is kind of a topic that I kind of chose, and I have a reason for it. This weekend we had a really good, very fun weekend. I think it was Mother's Day for not myself. I am not a mother.
No.
But during the day before Mother's Day, me, you, Laura, and our daughter, we played a game. It was an online game. It's called Terra.
And it's a free-to-play game.
Yeah,
MMO.
Free-to-play MMO game. And I while playing it, we ran through like a little dungeon all together and pretty much quit after that. And it kind of dawned on me that the way we were playing this game, if this game wasn't free to play, this wouldn't be on the table as an option as a playable game because they don't have technically MMO accounts or game genres that kind of play in a fashion for a family to kind of game together now.
Well, and technically we've ran into that issue before because there was a while, a couple of years back where we started playing WoW again.
Yeah.
Which we've played on and off for before we even knew each other. So we started playing with our daughter, and we did the free account with her just to kind of like get her up to par with understanding what was going on and stuff like that.
Show her the ropes,
yeah,
kind of lead her the way. Yeah.
And then she started getting to the point where we're like, okay, I guess the next level up would be to actually pay for her to start making getting higher level and stuff like that. All of a sudden we're like thinking about like, okay, $15 a month for you, Xavion, $15 a month for me,
not to mention
and
the
$15
games.
a month for her.
Yes.
Yeah, not to mention buying the new games, buying the next upgrade. And we're like looking at this going like, there's no way.
Yeah, because you have to. It's $60 just to get like the kind of starter pack, and you still don't get to the highest level. And this is one of those games where if you're not at the highest level, you're kind of sitting there. You're getting a big watered down version of the game, because a good chunk of the game was designed for the highest level. And you need to continuously pay $60 more, $60 more every time they increment. And for a family of 3, this is getting 3 times more expensive. And we're haven't even got to the part of the $15 a month per person. But the amount of money that we would need to spend in order to engage into a video game as a family has jumped up significantly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they really don't give you you could buy a software. Like Windows or Adobe or whatever, and a lot of times they'll give you a license key. Yeah, 3 downloads or 3 users or something like that. 3 computers.
This can be used on 3 computers,
or not just 3, but there are numerous numbers depending on what software it is. But they will give you you can use it for multiple places. But they don't have that for when it comes to games, and as a family. We're only 3 people, so we're lucky in that regard. I can't even imagine what it would be like for ones who have 4 or 5 or whatever. It's near impossible to do as a family.
And when I listen to a lot of game journalists or just game enthusiasts when they're on YouTube or whatnot, and they talk about the video game market, we'll hear about these drop boxes or loot crates and whatnot. And I'm not a part of that market. I don't buy into that system. That's not my market, because there's nowhere that we as a family could fit in. Buying a game at $60, if I want to get, if I want to get me, you, and our daughter involved, that's a purchase of, not 180, that's 100, is it $180? Quick math.
Yeah, if they're $60 per person, plus, yes.
$180. And that's to get the same experience that I as an individual can kind of get close to for 3 people. That's a lot of money to chuck out.
Well, and that's computer wise, PC. There are obviously other games, but even with those, even if we look at
split play is actually dropped off the map for a lot of these newer games. I'm not sure if Call of Duty still has that or if it's one of few, but most games now don't have a split player co-op option or even for a campaign. That's been kind of going away.
Yeah.
And that kind of puts us out of hey, we still like games. We still are. We're definitely in the family market where, we can't, spend 80 hours or 120 hours into a game and really dedicate that chunk of time out of our lives.
But yeah, games me growing up, we would have a board game night and stuff like that. And we do try to play board games with our daughters, or with our daughter, and only one with our daughter.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, we also like to play games. We're video game people. We grew up in that area.
It was an option for a medium that we can enjoy.
Yeah.
And where all the generations don't have that in their childhood, we do.
So we would like to play that with our daughter. Yeah. As a family night, not just board games, but actually video games or computer games or whatever. Except we hardly have any options.
Yeah. I remember back in the day what I would used to do. And if you're, don't even list your age. Just say whether or not you've had this experience. It doesn't matter. But I used to go over to my friend's house. My friend would come over to my house. Dude, grab a controller. I'm holding a controller. We're playing Tekken. We're playing Street Fighter. We're playing whatever game's available. And it's not, and some of those are old school games, but there was also, Halo, when that was coming out. I was playing that with a friend. That was a blast. They're right there with me. We're actually enjoying this experience. And there was a lot of split screen options.
We have a lot of a lot of family games. There was like some like Monopoly like game that we played with like 4 of us and stuff like that, which is highly unusual when it comes to games being able to have that.
Oh yeah, that's like, you know, I guess board games are still a thing, but it's like a group night at a bar that you do, something that we kind of did at our local bar that we have down here. Actually, I was just thinking about this. For Halo, was one of the first games where there was a good number of people doing LAN parties, interconnecting one Xbox to another Xbox to another Xbox in order to have a co-op play with a single screen system so everybody could jump in because it allowed that. And it was archaic compared to where everybody has their single at home loneliness kind of experience, which I get some people are still on there. I want to, like, you know, disrespect that. But then again, you're not in that, you know, a social environment playing a social game. You're in a, you know, you're by yourself and you're playing this game too, and kind of convert that to the family experiences. You can't be by yourself. That doesn't work.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is too, like, you know, you hear all these news and articles and things like that about how, like, you know, you shouldn't let your kid just play games and do nothing else, you know, and that's, I think a lot of that is centered around the idea that this child is playing by theirself, you know. Whereas we don't let our daughter do that. We want to play these games with her as a family experience. Like, you sit down and you watch a movie together for a movie night, for family movie night.
You let your kids play that? Why don't you let them sit down and watch a wholesome show like Kim Kardashian?
You know, I mean, either way. So, you know, we want to sit down and we want to have the option to be able to play these games with our daughter without it, like, I mean, you shouldn't have to pay for each individual person. They don't even lend it as an option. Like, they don't. I think that, like, it's not even what the marketer's thinking. And the funny thing is, we use the free to play option, but there's like money on the table for that realm that's just being left alone. Not for the people who want everybody to buy individual game, and because they think that that's how they make the most money. If they gave us a family bundle option, we would seriously consider it.
Yeah, I think what a lot of companies are worried about is that people would share their keys and other people would play it.
But that's where you give the limit, like you have for software and stuff like that. You can only have, you know, you buy up to this amount, and that's the limited amount of license you have. So, yes, will you have people sharing it? Sure. You know, but at the same time, maybe that would actually open you up to even more sales.
And I think even having that option as let's say you're a person or whatever, I do play this game, I have like 2 other licenses, you want to play with me? Yeah, there's value in its rarity. I'm a person who has access to a game. You want to play with me? Sure, I'll give you access. We are no longer friends no more. I cut you off. But there's that social, real world aspect where you have to kind of know this person in order to get this game, to try this out, and then.
I mean, once you're in there too, like, a lot of times then you'll want to buy an upgrade, or, hey, I want to get this awesome cool mount, or, you know, something like that. So,
and you're both getting the reward together, depending on who would have the license for work.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how that license part of it would work, but either way, like, if they didn't do it that way, then, you know, there was money to be earned there from this person who got, you know, a free ticket, technically, I guess. You know.
And anybody's looking into that, there's a idea that's right there on the table. You can take pretty much like with one game, Terra, we enjoy. Now the funny thing about Terra, if anybody knows about this game, if you look it up, it's been it's not been controversial because I think it falls in the niche of anime-ish because of the way it's stylized. But there's a lot of that. What do you call it? If you're a lady in armor in a video game MMO, where
you're wearing practically nothing to protect your body.
Exactly, the iron bikini. You know, you're wearing iron bikini with a shield and sword, ready for battle.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much wearing bikinis that you would if you went to the beach.
It is a ridiculous game, but in a way, it still offers that one thing that we can't get from other games. It's pretty easy to play. You can press a couple buttons.
And it makes it easy for, like, you know, for our daughter who can just follow the storyline, because there are some that like WoW has a very open format, and it was a little difficult for her to follow that track because there were just so many options. Whereas Terra, it gives you a very clear cut,
very linear path.
Yeah, and you can still, there is open world exploring and stuff like that in there, but yeah, it pretty much it helps guide you.
It gives you a train track. You do this, beat this, get to the next area.
Yeah.
Where the Warcraft, you kind of jumped into this area, but if you want to, you could jump over that area, or if you want to jump on this side, you can jump on that area. And if you just got tired of this, you can just go in there. And that exploration was really cool. But to get someone kind of to get their to get our daughter into it, or we want to kind of go into it, we got to go at level 1, and this kind of worked very well as level 1, and it's pretty entertaining as a game. And actually, what I enjoyed is my daughter's playing a healer in this game, and even if you do not play video games, you can probably understand the concept. So I'm a tank, which basically my job in this game is to get hit a lot so that they don't get hit a lot. Mm-hmm. My wife is playing the pretty much the range attack, so she's shooting, and my daughter is playing healer, and what she does is she just comes to the tank who's getting beat up and just keeps my health up. That's all we have to do. So picture a family dynamic and us having a conversation in a live action event where I'm going, I need heals, and then my daughter's going and she's trying to heal me up as fast as I can, oh no, and then she's shooting, and then she got this big giant monster coming at her, and then she's like, oh, I need you to pull him back, and I'm running out there, and then my daughter's running behind me and trying to keep me alive.
In the same room.
Yeah. That's a dynamic, that's a story, that's something you can't get from any other media, where you're just you're actively engaged. It's not like a card game you're waiting for someone to move. It's not like many other things. There's no movie where you're watching and you're everybody's kind of yelling and trying to get something. Doing the teamwork.
With movies, there's less chance for conversation to take place and stuff too. Whereas we are fully interacting with each other, and there's that teamwork environment.
Yeah.
And, building some really good core values in her, listening, having to actually pay attention and focus. All these things that are really great tools that, when you're sitting down and you're watching a movie, you don't get that. Our daughter is extremely active. So to get her to sit down for a 2-hour movie or whatever is near impossible.
And we're part of that engagement, her being fully interactive, which I love that part when the big giant monster was coming at her and she was like, I need help. And I get to actually be this guy with superpowers, and then just, putting on my boots and then this busting over there to go save my daughter from this terrible monster. Yeah. It's, it's surreal. It's kind of a neat thing. And there's no other way to kind of engage that.
And the smile that happens on her face afterwards, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But we've tried many different other kinds of games, and we can't find anything that really works as that family dynamic. Terra, that's it.
Yeah, we need a variety in this aspect. There's tons of other opportunity where they're just not giving us the option.
Yeah.
Whether it's financial or just think about it. This is a market that is neglecting.
As much as we love the MMOs and the character playing and stuff like that, it would be awesome to have other options, There's this one game I've been really enjoying watching on YouTube. It's called The Forest. And, and it would be a really cool one to play as a family. It's kind of a horror-esque in a way, but it's also like Minecraft where you build things and stuff like that. And, you have to go gather and you have to survive and it's not terribly scary.
And actually, what you were watching, you were watching this couple that was playing.
I think they were a couple.
Yeah.
They were certainly in the same
maybe we should put a hashtag on it, and they can tell us, are you a couple? Have you been thinking about it?
Yeah, I don't. Let's see. Typical gamer, I think is his tag name.
Yeah.
I've been watching, but I don't know what hers is, but either way. So yeah, I've been watching them and going through the forest and watching the game, which I do like doing. But anyhow, I was at some point I was oh, this would be, and my daughter would watch it with me and she'd be like, oh, can we play that? Can we play that? And then I was like, okay, well, let me look into this. It does have multiplayer in it, but we run into the same issue.
Yeah.
I'd have to download it on every single,
system and computer log in.
And it's a little cheaper because it's like only $20 or something like that. But still, like
your $20 purchase for one person. Now I can see like where people, they can have the counter argument here. Like, well, why do you need to have this? Because there's a different dynamic when you're single and you're enjoying a game by yourself. You're getting the full on experience, and that can be understandable. If you're doing that same thing as a family, sometimes that gets disturbing. It gets like if I'm sitting there playing a game, and I was playing Terra a lot by myself today, and I'm not fully engaged in anybody else kind of sharing the experience, it still takes away from the family. It's still me playing the game and no one else wants to spend time with me, or I can't spend time with them, or because I'm trying to enjoy the game. So my $20 purchase at the same price isn't as engaging. Well, if I want to have the full experience for me, or the full, I guess, potential experience, then if I had that plus 3 or 4 licenses for family, and then we're ready to run, and then we can all play. And what I find funny is you have Spotify offers tons and tons of music. They
have a family plan.
They have a family plan.
Netflix, you can upgrade to where you can download it onto multiple TVs and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. This Hulu has that as well too, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There's a lot of other people and other services that are definitely going for this model. And as much as I was listening, I made a video about it. Don't watch it. It doesn't matter.
Maybe we should tag Steam on this.
Yeah, Steam. You should. Well, they don't make games anymore, and Half-Life 3 will never come out. They're such a. You don't even know about that part, so
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. So she's out of loop. She's not that strong of a gamer.
I'm not. I mean, I'm a I don't know. We were wanting to classify myself as in a gamer world.
You enjoy.
I like playing.
You enjoy media
games
of all types. I mean, really, that's what it is. But it does seem like there's that string where you play one game, then you are now a gamer. Where if you can watch tons of movies, but you'll never be a movier.
I think they go like movie buff or something.
I think it's expensive to be a movie buff. Like, you think it's expensive to be a gamer? You buy a $60 game, and you don't buy any more games like 3 or 4 or 5, or probably the rest of the year, depending on how you game.
Yeah, new movies are like $20 now.
On this, or you can Blu-ray, and you have your subscription options where if you want to wait them out, or you go to the movie theaters, and depending if you're always bringing people with you, because no one goes alone unless you're me and couldn't see a movie because you worked all day.
When I was single, I would go by myself.
Okay, you're that person, introvert.
Come on. It's not like you need to be social when you're sitting there watching a movie.
Very true. You don't need to be social. I guess, like, I always felt like, I'm going to the movies. Who else wants to come with me? And I
think it's a safety in numbers kind of thing. I always felt awkward going there by myself, but I didn't really want to ask anybody else to go with me, and I wanted to see this movie, so I'd go see it.
Yeah, I remember like the one time I did go in there, and when I was a teenager and I went to go see it, it was like a different experience. I went to a movie theater and I went to the movie theater as a teenager, and I go to the person who asked for a ticket, and then like he looked around and it was like, just you? Like, yeah. I really want to see this movie. I don't remember what movie it was, and it tells you how good it was. And I felt like it was an odd thing to do. And then I go back, now I'm in my 30s, and I go in there and movie theater, like, yeah, you're just one of the people who eat cereal at nighttime, don't you? Like, yep, I don't care. There's no more rules anymore for me. It's I can do whatever I want. Go ahead. It's different times, different experiences.
Yep, very true.
But anyways, I guess I want to kind of at least kind of wrap everything I just said all together to kind of make it simplify. What's the word I'm trying to say? To make it less complicated. To make it less complicated. So I play video games. My wife plays video games every now and then. Her favorite is racing games. And my daughter, she's definitely...
Split Second was my all-time favorite.
Yeah, and my daughter is getting into video games, and we are definitely doing our best as parents who've played video games, and you can use our better judgment, to make sure she's playing the right games, enjoy those experiences with us.
I mean, we definitely make sure our daughter is extremely active. She sits in her chair and moves. She's done what, Ninja Warrior here, around here. She's done the gymnastics. She's done
she's not this couch potato that doesn't do anything. She is jumping. She's moving around. But when you're at the house, you're not going out, just play a game, something's fun together. We can all hop on our different computers, and we do
create art together and all sorts of stuff.
Exactly, and I wonder that we're now in a time where a lot of people have computers. Their kids have computers, and there is this empty market that no one seems to be touching, and that is just a good family gaming market. Like, instead of looking for nice kiddish bouncy games, and that's fine, but where is anybody going to tap into a licensing for three people or a family to play together? I
think it's like the difference, we take our daughter to go see kid-oriented movies, what Pets was one of them we went to go see. What are some of the other more?
I saw the beginning version of the commercial, and then after it started getting into what the movie is, I cringed for 2 seconds and cut it off.
Either way, actual... like Zootopia and things like that. Ones that are geared towards the kids. And then, we are now at that stage where we take her to go see, the Marvel movies. And, we saw Black Panther with her and things like these.
She's growing.
Yeah. So, we feel like we don't need to just as a family play kid games, because she's pretty much beyond those kind of games.
Yeah, she's no longer looking at games for 2+2 and 3+3. She's like, okay, let's actually play a real version of a game. Like, I'm there now. I don't need to have. She doesn't need to play swearing and cursing and F this and that. She doesn't need that. But I do think she wants to get into what a form of a real game should be, not this kind of watered down version of a game. And then we found it into this one game, which it's just fine. There's no cursing, there's no swearing. There is the questionable bikini armor that's there. It's not the main motif of the game, but it's something that is noted for. So if people make it, there's a reference to some character from there. But her character on the game, which I think is kind of funny, is a little kid, little elf type of a girl there.
Yeah, with fox ears and stuff like that.
With fox ears. Oh, well, that is my timer there. Okay, so we got to start wrapping this up. So I said I was going to make this simple, and I still made it hard. I don't know how I did that. Okay, so basically what's missing is we need a way that you can have multiple computers connect to play a game that doesn't need to have so many license purchases for each unit.
Or just give a family bundle for a pack where we were talking about, where you have some of those softwares that you can buy and you can download it onto 3 computers or whatever.
Yeah, and actually a perfect area of the market that can jump into it is, and people may cringe at this because I may be saying okay, destroy the free-to-play model. No, but they are the best ones to fit right now. They are offering a product that's, that is for free. Yes, you can purchase cosmetics and other things and leveling up, and I do see that in there in this game too. But if they really want to explore this option, there should be more MMOs with maybe a $60 price tag, and I would purchase it if I see multiple licenses on that. In fact, I guarantee I'm going to buy the first game that offers that, the first MMO RPG that offers multiple licenses for people play, whether it's good or bad. I will put my money where my mouth is on that. I would love to see that as an option.
Okay.
Even though she's cringing, she's like, I'm not going to let you buy it. We are really a married couple, people. We really are a married couple.
Well, we just want to give shout outs to all of our new followers and everything like that are, following us on our blog posts or Twitter or on our Podbean, everywhere. We're just really every person that, you know.
It has been really exciting to see a lot of the traffic that's been coming in.
Yeah, all the people are listening. I mean, it's just we
notice it, we see it.
Yes, we do. We really do. You know, I mean, I think multiple times a day, every day, I'm like refreshing to see how many people have listened.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you want to make our day, you post a comment.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I will definitely see
it. We will jump for joy. And
we have had one comment, and it's a person we know, and I replied to it as soon as I saw it, and I was so excited.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go and wrap this up. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, take it easy.
See ya!